So I was New Zealand's strongest man competitor for years. And in the gym, I would pretty much out-train anyone. My mentality was, they used to call me Staffy because I sink my teeth into a lift and I wouldn't let it go. I wanted to get that number. And I think that the gym for me had taught me a lot about being disciplined, about bringing an attitude and overriding what my body was telling me. Because there were times when I was really tired, but I still freaking showed up. And I still demanded of myself 100%.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Wow. This is Conor with the Unplugged Podcast number 53. Today, my co-founder at Connect Coaching and good friend Callum is unavailable, so it's just myself today. And I'm here with New Zealand's leading mental performance coach. This is podcast number 53, but second time we've asked David to come back on. He's got a wealth of knowledge and skills and mindset and insights that we can use in life, in business, and especially in sports. David, welcome back to the Unplugged Podcast.
Hey, Conor, thanks so much for having me back. Now, hey, congratulations on 2 years.
Hey, mate, thank you very much. We've, we can't believe it's 2 years already. As I said, I think just before we hit the ground running, we had a loose strategy as to where we were going. The details hadn't formed yet. Mm-hmm. We've just given it everything, and here we are 2 years later, 53 podcasts, traveled around the world teaching and training thousands of people through our doors, and we are, I'm still here. We are, well on our mission to continue to make a difference in the world. But enough about us, buddy. We're here to
I'd just
talk
like
to you.
to say, I think you've actually touched on something that's really quite powerful with regards to your podcast, because a bit like my coaching, I don't have a format. I like the organic process. I think you have some level of structure, but I think you got to have that flexibility within that to allow it to be as authentic and organic as possible.
I like to roll that way. I feel when it's scripted, there are boundaries we put in place in order to keep to the narrative that we're trying to keep to. Whereas when there are no fences, you're free to roam wherever you would like to. Actually, one thing, if people are joining us for the first time and they've never met you before, I forgot to mention you're an author, a best-selling author. And if there is a successful New Zealand athlete, odds are they've come through your door at some point in time. And how long have you been in the mental performance industry? And how long did it sort of take you in order to position yourself? Not that you maybe had a goal to position yourself this way. Maybe you did. But at what point in your journey, in your business journey, did things really start to turn from, hey, I'm David Niethe, the mental performance coach, to I'm now the mental performance coach of the world's #1 female golfer?
Wow. Well, how do I unpack that? Well, first and foremost, I think the important thing is I've been doing this for over 30 years. Mm-hmm. And I will say is that the continuation of the education, the learning has still continued to this day. I'm so bloody curious. And I think that's really an important component for an up-and-coming coach.
Curiosity.
Is that continuously educate yourself. Be a student of excellence, be a product. As a lot of my clients or the feedback is it's real, right? And I'm a true believer in me. I don't tend to be something that I'm not. Now, as far as the journey, mate, I can tell you the first 3 years when I started to do this business, and I'll keep it really brief so we can focus on other things. But I came from a background where I was 8 years a printer on a printing press.
All right.
Mate, I used to get excited about overtime, and that meant that I was going to get time and a half, which was close to $10 an hour.
That's pretty cool. Let's see. So that was overtime, was it? That was time and a half.
That was with overtime. So I left school. So just briefly, the background is I left school. I'm dyslexic. I left school with no qualifications.
Mm.
I didn't discover I was dyslexic because it wasn't a thing back then till I was in my 20s. That is when I was looking for a change. I knew that I needed to get out of printing. Now, based on my profile, my psychological profile, the last thing I should be doing is anything to do with engineering. My brain doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
So
Right.
again, here's a great little thing that I kind of go, little thing that you can do with your clients for all those budding coaches out there is helping the individuals start to understand themselves. And again, profiling tools are a fantastic way. But here's something that I really enjoy for discussion points. It's not quite, it could be deemed to be a little out of the realm a little bit, but I do psychogeometrics with my clients. So I'll go through
Cool. Yeah.
the different shapes. Funny enough, it's so incredibly interesting for engaging into, conversation. So when I did mine later in life, on my journey into, learning about coaching.
So after you were in the print business, how did you find what was the connection? You were just going about your day?
So I'm dyslexic because I was going to become a policeman.
Right.
So I had to get off the printing press. I was miserable. Now, on my psychogeometrics, I am a circle squibble.
Okay.
Now, a printer would be a square. I mean, that's the last bloody on my priority, right? So I'm not analytical. I'm more emotional, free thinker, right? And I'm creative. Now, so I was trying to find an exit. I knew I was miserable. 8 years a printer, I was.
Right.
I failed there. Yeah. So I'd failed my police exam.
Okay.
I passed the physical and failed the English exam and the mathematics.
Right.
Failed miserably. But the lady there took me aside and said, Dave, have you ever been tested for dyslexia? Well, I didn't even know what that was. I found out. Now, I think this is something that's very important again moving forward. It's important to understand self, but do not buy into the bullshit label. I think we're very quick to restrict ourselves and go, I'm dyslexic, therefore my model of the world based on that is dictated that I can't do certain things. That is absolute bullshit. It's just you find a better strategy.
Yeah.
So I learned how to read and write 20.
Was that through your own perseverance?
Yeah, absolutely. I knew it was something that Jim Rohn said, which I think is so freaking powerful.
Jim Rohn's got some amazing.
Oh, here's the man. I'm going to send you a photo of me with Jim.
Oh, you trained with Jim?
Yeah, I actually have been on the stage with Jim Rohn.
Very cool. Very cool.
Not at the same time. He was the guest speaker, the star of the night. But there's another little story there, which is so. Anyway, Jim Rohn. So I'm starting to get into this personal development because I knew change was my responsibility. Right now,
when did you get that? Because that is something you're saying it as if everyone feels and knows this, but that is a mic drop. Change is your responsibility.
Absolutely.
What part of your life did you figure that out?
And I'll tell you, we as you know, we talk about significant emotional events. Right? They are emotionally challenging. They're not very nice. So what happened for me is I was engaged to a girl. It wasn't working out. And the day came and I said, look, we've got to. And it was in that moment, remember, pain means new life. It was in that moment that I remember I didn't want to see anyone. I'm I wouldn't say I was depressed, but I was down.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember it was Guy Fawkes or whatever it was. Fireworks are going off. I know it was New Year's. Fireworks are going off, and I'd been invited to go to all these New Year's parties, and I'm sitting in my room, feeling sorry for myself, and fireworks are going, and people are having a good time. And an ad on TV came on board about the importance of personal development.
Was it a Tony Robbins ad?
No, it wasn't. It was way beyond that. I can't remember the guy.
Because I remember late night TV in New Zealand in the 90s. Tony Robbins was
Robbins was big, but we're talking, hang on, we're talking, I don't know what year it was, but it was very similar to Anthony Robbins. I ordered those tapes.
Cool.
It was all NLP.
Mm-hmm.
And that sparked something to me to start learning.
Mm.
Now, the eureka moment was when I realized how much I loved working with people.
Mm.
I was very good. When I was a printer, I wasn't a particularly good printer, but I was really good with customers.
With the people, yeah.
With the people, right? And I was like, eureka, this is something really cool. So I think it sparked the most important thing that you need to have as an individual, and that's curiosity. I really started to ignite a sense of curiosity, of discovery. Through that, I developed this tenacious resolve that I was going to be a coach.
At that point, that was before coaching was even a thing. Like it wasn't really
even
a thing.
Mate.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And so I would say disrespectful. I've actually helped pioneer coaching in this country.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was one of the first. And so the first 3 years were really challenging. I think the blessing that I had was meeting my wife. Again, isn't it amazing how these unexpected moments can be influential in changing your life?
For sure. Yeah.
And I met my wife, and I knew I was going to marry her. I've head on heart, mate. If she was here, she'd say the same. We just, so we've been married. We're coming up 30 years of marriage.
Very cool.
It was a significant moment for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the journey, the first 3 years, honestly, mate, and a lot of coaches will feel this. You feel like you're faking it.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean?
Did everyone hear that? Say that again.
You feel like you're faking it.
Mm.
You know, and for me, there were
times.
Why?
Why did you feel that you were faking it?
And I think it was because I didn't have the evidence. So again, it's all about self-limiting beliefs and the perception. Is those that were getting help or were associated with psychology.
Mm-hmm.
So psychologists go to university, they do a master's, and they do a doctorate. They come out, right? They're highly educated people. I'm a dyslexic dropout from school who had to learn to read and write at 20. Who the fuck am I to tell people to suck eggs? And so that I never, having said that, I never apologize for that. But what I did have was a presence, and not so much the knowledge, but the experience, because I knew how to push myself mentally. So in the strongman, so I was New Zealand's strongest man competitor for years. And in the gym, I would pretty much out-train anyone. My mentality was, they used to call me Staffy because I sank my teeth into a lift and I wouldn't let it go. I wanted to get that number. And I think that the gym for me had taught me a lot about being disciplined, about being, about bringing an attitude and overriding what my body was telling me. Because there were times when I was really tired, but I still freaking showed up.
You
And I
pushed
still
yourself, yeah.
demanded of myself
Mm.
100%.
Why?
Because it is the most respectful thing you can do for oneself, in the sense that at a deeper level, I am an existentialist, right? So I believe that we're put into this world, we can't choose our circumstances, our parents, and we die. But in that time frame, I believe we have a responsibility to be the best we can be and all we can be, to extract as much out of life as possible. And again, Carl Jung said this, which is brilliant. He said, where fear lies, there lies your task. So in my podcast, I talk about 3 things that I've overcome. Number 1 for me was bullying at Wesley College. So it was
Oh, you
tough.
went to Wesley. Did Jonah go to? Jonah Lonnie went to
Jonah
Wesley, didn't he?
I went to Wesley before Jonah, and it was freaking tough, mate.
Yeah.
You had to harden up.
Mm.
And that bullying for me was, I still remember to this day, I'd had enough, not so much of the hiding, because I can handle the hiding per se, but what I was pissed off with is the fact that I was giving my power away.
And you realize this as a teenager.
I'm 13.
Yeah.
And I realized I am not going to give myself my power away. Now, again, little things happen, because remember when I said when I was 20, I saw those tapes?
Yeah.
I think it stems even further back to 13 years of age, being given a book, Jonathan Livingston Seagull, by the priest at Wesley College.
Okay.
He identified that I was going through some tough times. I could relate to Jonathan. And it was a beautiful story, because it was about a seagull that didn't want to be part of the crowd fighting over fish heads. He wanted to do something. There was a bigger purpose to life, and he wanted to be the fastest seagull. I'm reading this then. Oh, heck yeah.
That's me.
Now, it inspired me, but it was one of those things that you sort of because you get on with life.
It simmered. Yeah.
I couldn't wait to get out of school, because I failed everything. I was just happy to get out of school. Went into a job, which was a big mistake. I was so miserable. But there were some good points within that.
Yeah.
But I think I needed to mature and grow up.
Sure.
So it's it ignited something, and I think there's these little significant moments that culminate over time, that ideally, if you really pay attention to, can actually help guide you into finding a sense of identity and purpose in life.
Did you feel as though you didn't fit into the mold of everyone else at Wesley, and you just felt that there was more to life than what?
I think
than fighting over chips.
Yeah, and I think in that context, no, I wasn't really in any sort of asking those sorts of questions, because I think it was more about me. It was more about, for me initially, it was, I don't want to give my power. I don't want to be scared anymore. I'm sick and tired of being scared. I mean, I don't know. I think the things that influence that, and that sense of perspective, is when, you have a grandfather and great uncle who served. And, I remember as a young kid, I'd go stay with them and put the uniform on and grab the old Lee Enfield and think I'm cool. And my granddad and Uncle John would tell me wonderful stories of their mates in the war and afterwards. But as they got older and I got older, the stories became real. And what they had gone through was horrific. For me, I've always talked about how we create those values. And one of the things for me is, I believe, out of respect for the men and women that gave their lives for our freedom, we have a responsibility individually to be the best we can be in all we can do.
Maximize the opportunity that was given to us.
It is the most respectful thing we can do, not just to our history, but to ourselves. But in order to do so, you need to start facing up to the things you fear. Where fear lies, there lies your task. So for me, initially, it was the bullying.
Is that, I love what you just said there. Is that something that you just say off the cuff all the time, or did you get
all the time? It wasn't me. It was Carl Jung. Oh, yeah. Give Carl the credit for that. But I love it.
So where there's fear lies your next task.
Where fear lies, there lies your task. It's the investigation. I mean, how often do we as coaches help people overcome limiting beliefs? And in order to truly transition and change people, fundamentally, we can easily go where it's all comfortable, but in really make a change, it's attacking the things we fear. Now, you know what it's like. The brain will come up with amazing reasons why you shouldn't.
And they're all valid in the mind.
They're all valid, especially how I feel. My nervous system, my amygdala is fired up, and I'm going, are you fucking serious?
Yeah.
That's, I think, part of our role as coaches is helping them peer.
Yeah, but their emotion, it's the emotional trigger that I think gets most people to turn around. And fear obviously is the main emotion that we're talking about here. But some people need the strategy to cope with that fear.
Yep. It's interesting. I don't agree with everything, but Descartes said something. The French philosopher, and he said, I think he's French, and he said, our senses deceive us. And to a certain point, he's absolutely right. We have a sense and we intuitively tune into that because it's valid. And it's valid in a nurturing way, but it's not valid in progressing. Put it in other terms. You have young children.
Yeah.
Can they ride a bike?
Yes.
Did they fall off initially from the bike?
Many times.
Was it painful?
Yes.
Were there tears?
Yes.
Were there objections to getting back on the bike?
Sometimes, yes. Yes, there were.
And yet, they can now ride a bike.
Absolutely. This is funny. This is... last night I was talking to someone who attended the sales webinar that we held on Wednesday night, and she was talking about being anti-fragile. Have you heard that before?
Anti-fragile?
Anti-fragile. Who was the gentleman who coined it? Anti-fragile, things that gain from disorder, and it was the author is Nazim Taleb. And it was published in 2012. But it's the notion of creating diamonds. It's the notion that the more uncomfortable you are and the more difficult situations you are in, the stronger you actually become.
Well, doesn't that coordinate with where fear lies? There lies your task.
Definitely.
Same principle. I think most of us, what we've got to appreciate, part of this is due to our biology. The fear response is one of the most important aspects of human psychology, because if you had no fear, you wouldn't survive.
Correct. We would be eaten by lions. You
know what it's like with kids. I go,
yeah, or a tiger shark.
Oh my God, no. Yeah. It's a deep part of our neurology. It's a survival mechanism. And I think it's valid to a certain point. But I think the other thing we've got to appreciate is that mechanism. It's almost like the software is outdated now.
Mm.
You know,
Yeah, yeah.
we're in some sense, I'm not saying that you disengage it completely or disrespect it completely, but, in the modern world, we're not running away from polar bears or tigers or anything. But there's a different type of stress that we
Mm.
have in this modern world. And it's, we,
Yeah.
whether it's, how do I present in front of 1,000 people?
Great. Well, the tiger is no longer a tiger. It's should I stay
No,
in my job or
the,
start my
the
own business?
tiger's the audience. Do you know what I mean? It's like,
it's the
holy
yeah,
shit.
yeah, exactly. Or a boss at work that is borderline
Yeah,
bullying you. How
yeah,
that's the tiger. Or should I stay in my job or should I start my own business? Should
yeah.
I
Yeah,
go
man.
left? Should I go right? Right is comfortable, left is uncomfortable.
That's right. And then sometimes what dictates the decisions
Mm.
is it goes back, and you guys teach this all the time. Where, it's sort of aligning when you really start to understand those core values and align your life to those. I think you can start to create a fulfilling life because you're designing your life in such a way that not that majority of the time, because I think to think that it's a perfect life, you're deluded,
Mm,
right?
mm, mm, mm.
There is no
There is no
perfect
such thing.
life,
I agree
right?
with that.
But so within that chaos, your ability to navigate through the challenges are very much supported by the fact that if most of your decisions align with your identity and your values, it's most likely
Mm.
that you're going to put yourself in the right path.
Yeah.
That's fulfilling.
This is actually, I was going to ask you the question. When someone has a fear of the tiger and the tiger is getting up on that presentation, or
Yep.
let's say someone's progressing through life,
Yep.
and I've got this little diagram behind me, most people
Yep.
live in their comfort zone.
Yeah.
And things either get really bad or they get really good. And then either their comfort zone will reset. But let's say things get better. So they want something more in their life and they go up to, and they break through the glass ceiling. They go up, they get out of their comfort zone. They feel confusion, overwhelm, negative emotions, fear. Maybe they've had to not necessarily unfriend someone, but move away from friends who are no longer serving them in the direction that they're heading in, and all these emotions start to come up. Once they get through that period of time, and people can get through that naturally by themselves, or they can bring in a coach to accelerate that. So it could take them a year to go from A to B, or it could take them 2 months to go from A to B. If they have help along the way in order to bring up their blind spots so that they become more aware and anyway, when they get to the new comfort zone, what is it? When is, and this was the question I was going to ask you, when is enough enough? Like, is there ever enough? How does someone know that they're there, and what does there mean?
I don't think there is such a thing as a there.
Yeah.
Right. I think that's a myth. I think it's a constant adaptation based on circumstances. I think fundamentally, again, let's pivot back to maybe a deeper place, and that is of a like I said, through that lens of curiosity. You break that window. Now, pain means life. And so part of it is understanding that you have to pass through this. You can't avoid it. Now, unfortunately, today's society, what do we do when we get to that point? To break through, we are weak. And so we tend to medicate or drink or avoid. Do you know what I mean? We want to take the pain away. But the reality is, on the other side of pain is a new opportunity. So you need to learn to, firstly, we know that psychologically we are programmed to avoid pain.
Yes.
So our senses, the amygdala fires up, right? And that is when you have to get to a level of awareness to go, okay, now I have to own this and I need to sit with this and I need to be persistent to get through this. But understand that the pain in of itself is a gift, not the other side. Because in order to get to the other side, you have to endure. So the pain itself, so it's learning to reframe things serves.
What's that expression? I mean, it really rings true. No pain, no gain.
Absolutely.
It's something that we've been saying since, and it probably came from the weightlifting world or the sports world. No pain, no gain.
It's probably that. You could probably go back into the Greek mythology, the Stoics. I would say, well, think about this. Think about, you could go and probably even further back. Think about Greek. Oh, sorry. What was it? That movie 300.
Oh, with the Spartans.
Right? The Spartans were so freaking powerful. But as a kid, you'd have to learn how to fight. Right? And so, again, I think...
Oh, I'm here.
We're back.
No, I'm good, mate.
Okay. I think the important thing is, because majority of people today are fear avoidant, like I said, I think we need to understand, how does one build resilience? And I get this all the time, right? Do you know how you build resilience fundamentally? It's face your fear, and the biggest gift is time under tension. In the gym, for instance, if you want to get stronger, you need time under tension. You can't just intend to improve. You need to experience in life. We, build resilience. And a part of that is sometimes understanding to reframe failure. Failure is inevitable. I fucked up so many times. But here's the thing, and you know this as a coach, we teach, ideally, you get to a point of awareness where you preserve the learnings and let go of the negative emotions. What did Descartes say? Our senses lie to us. Now, today, we listen, and it's emotionally orientated. And through that affects the lens, the behavior, the perception. When I first started my business many years ago, I think the constant thing that I got was people loved my honesty. And
you're very, you call a spade, and you're okay to say.
I'm not here to blow smoke up your ass. I will call you out on your bullshit. And even with my sessions, the first question I ask is, do you give me permission to be blunt and honest? And if you say no, well, then fuck off. I'm not interested in working with you.
It would be very hard to get any results with someone if they don't allow you to be open and honest.
Absolutely. And I actually get, it's interesting, I get people phoning me now. I want you to be blunt with me, because I know I need. That's so refreshing. And believe it or not, it's not like I'm sitting here waiting for my next slide to go, right, how can I be cruel?
Like some sort of James Bond villain,
and here the buzz you get from the coach, this is a year later, you get an email, a message going, I just wanted to share with you what I'm up to. I just want to thank you so much for helping me to change my life. That is so fucking rewarding.
It is. And that's why that's our why. This is why we do what we do. I mean, this is why we're in the, I mean, I could be selling, Cal could be selling houses, car, like whatever. But we do this because we love the reward that it gives us on a personal level. It gives us life. It gives us energy. And it, no pain, no gain. we used to say sometimes you got to break down to break through, and that's everything that you're saying. So
what do they say? You got to break some eggs to make an omelet.
you have to break some eggs to make an omelet. Exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
So let's segue to your book, the mental game.
No, the winning mindset. And here's the latest on
Mental edge. Sorry, the mental edge.
The winning mindset.
Do you have one there?
No, I fucking don't. Because I had one and I've given the last one away. Here's the interesting thing. We have sold out.
Brilliant. Did I see that they're on like Dimmicks? They're in Dimmicks?
Yeah, they were in Dimmicks. In fact, when I was in Aussie, I went over there and I just thought I'd go into Dimmicks and have a look and see if my book was. And they go, no, and who is it? Okay. And so my wife's asking, and she goes, no, but we can order it in for you. But we've sold out over here in Sydney. Well, one of the Dimmicks in Sydney. I said, and she goes, why do I ask? And she says, my wife goes, well, that's the author. What I was hoping to do was just sign and
sign
it back in.
Oh, that's pretty cool. That's really cool.
Yeah. But yeah, we've sold out. The publisher contacted me and we are reprinting. And according to HarperCollins, the distributor in Canada and America asked to take it up.
That's pretty big. Well done. Well done.
I was I know that the average sales when self-published is around about between 300 and 500 copies.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you go through a publisher, if you can sell a couple of thousand, you're doing really well.
Mm-hmm.
Mate, the fact that they're reprinting, we sold out over 3,500 copies. So we're reprinting another.
Well done.
I think we're doing another 3,500 for Australia, New Zealand, on top of I think Canada and America are going to do 1,000 each as a pilot amount.
Yeah.
And based on that, then they'll start.
That's awesome.
Hey, look, the book in of itself
so everything you're talking about now is
in that book.
Amazing.
Well, not everything, but a lot of the basics there. But that in itself was a pleasant surprise.
Yeah.
Interesting enough, it was a surprise, but I wasn't surprised in the sense that for many years I said to my wife, I'm going to write a book one day. And she goes, what's it going to be called? And I said, and this is a little controversial, I think, but I was going to call it From Printer to Profit.
Yeah.
And I meant profit, not in some profit, but profit is in making money. But here it is.
So when the people who are listening to us now, David, it's been sports focused. However,
no, it's life focused.
You work with everyone, not just the athlete. The connection where I'm getting is the connection between an elite athlete pushing themselves physically and mentally, obviously. Is it? I'm not going to say it's exactly the same, but are the principles the same in order to push yourself in your business?
Interesting enough.
Hi there, this is Conor and Callum from Connect Coaching. Hope you are enjoying the Unplugged podcast. Nothing lights us up more than seeing businesses thrive, especially in uncertain times. We have 32 combined years of doing nothing but mentoring and training businesses from around the globe in order to increase their revenue and thrive in uncertain times. So what we would like to do is share with you a little bit about what we've discovered over the last 32 years.
We've created this amazing business model called the Forever Business Model, and we want to give it to you for free. All you need to do is jump down into the description below. There's a link there called Steal Our Forever Business Model. Click on the link. There's a 9-minute video that you can watch where we unpack everything you need to know to implement it in your business right away.
I ran a seminar. We're going back a long time, back probably in 2000, and it was me, the Mental Edge seminar for sports people. And I remember a lady said, David, a lot of this is applicable in business. And I said, well, yeah, I wasn't really, it was more sports orientated.
Mm.
And I remember she's a very successful real estate agent, Simone Janelle, who I was friends with when we were kids. And I went, she's bloody right. These principles are universal almost. They can be
Yes.
applied in different contexts,
Mhm.
but the simple principles themselves are, although there has to be a certain amount of adaptation to it, they're fundamentally required in business. I've actually prided myself, mate. I have such a vast range of clientele. I can have a golfer, a young budding golfer. I've actually had the privilege of sitting down and having a session with a billionaire.
Mm. Mm.
That was, I won't go into great detail, but this guy asked me to come and see him. And I remember we started the session, we're talking about things, and he goes, he's an American, and he says, Dave, I'm going to have to stop you there. And I thought, I know what I'm like. I swear I'm Kiwi. Oh, no, And he goes, I got to get my weight down, man. This is so damn good.
It's
he
so
finally
freaking
just-
awesome. Yeah.
You gotta fucking come and meet this guy, Right. A lovely guy.
Yeah. Right.
But the walks of life, you go from that extreme. The other thing I truly believe in is I value myself, so I'm certainly not cheap to see.
Mhm.
But I also believe in giving something back.
Mm.
And for 30 years, mate, I've always tithed seminars and one-on-one time with deserving individuals
Mm.
to give something back. I think Joe and I, I think I've been averaging, and if you look at this seminar in time, over $50,000 a year for over 30 years.
You've been averaging $50,000
$50,000 worth of my time back to the community.
giving back. I think reciprocity is something that we believe is real. It's one of the foundations of our business is reciprocity.
Mate, I think it's so rewarding. So I basically generally go back into the lower economic areas, especially in South Auckland, because that's where I was born.
Mm. Mm.
And run seminars for the kids there. And it's incredible because even if I can just reach one. So can I share a little story that's really makes me cry, mate? I had a young girl who is a disabled athlete. Parents are hardworking family, a lot into family. Dad works fucking long hours. Mum looks after the kids, and they're just beautiful people. And reluctantly, they wanted to do the best for their daughter. She had some talent. And I remember they came in for a session. Her name's Tupo. And they came in. And, at the end of it, it was sort of like, they're trying to work out how much it's going to cost. And you could see they're reluctant, but needed to ask. And I told them what the hourly rate was, and you could see immediately, like, we're already making sacrifices for everyone. It's going to be. Just said, hey, but that's not the point. I want to look after it. As long as she needs me, I'll be there for her. Fuck me, we all fucking burst into tears. That young girl went on to winning a Olympic gold medal.
Oh, I'm getting goosebumps. You saying that now,
bro? Seriously, the only true way to wealth is to help others get what they want.
I believe that wholeheartedly.
Yeah, that's the buzz that I get. Now, whether it's a gold medal, whether it's overcoming public speaking, whether it's starting a business, whether it's sustaining a business, or whether it's just making improvements in my life, working one-on-one with clients, I think, is the essence of coaching. Now, I can make more money by running seminars because it's far more effective and profitable, but nothing compares to that individual approach. That's where I think the richness, and I think a lot of coaches today need to be made aware that it's, it's the things that I get really pissed off with a lot of these young budding coaches is that they're more interested in being influencers. They're very quick to tell people how to suck eggs, and they're always reporting on, well, I've been thinking about this, but as far as the essence of what I do as a coach, I have never advertised in 30 years. I will advertise my seminars, obviously, because it's cool.
Yeah.
But one-on-one is all referral. But here's the thing. I spend more time in sharing success stories than blowing my own trumpet.
Yeah. I see.
And I think I say that not to blow my own trumpet, but I say that because as some advice for young coaches, guys, don't lose sight of the work. And your work is based on getting results. That is it. Get to the essence of what the integrity of coaching is about. The most important person is that fucking person in front.
Is the individual, is the one that you're working with,
and do a good job, people will talk. I think there's a sense, and I could be wrong. Look, I'm not going to say I'm an expert. I'm just sharing my experience. With your coaching in the seminars, you have to advertise. I'm the same. I do the same. But the one-on-one coaching, I think, is the cornerstone of our industry. And I think that if you have a referral-based business, then you're doing something right.
Yeah.
Because people, the best salespeople for you are satisfied customers.
Absolutely. Yeah. But they are your biggest billboards, and they
really
in fact, they become forever clients. This is what we teach. In fact, we teach how to sell in a way that creates forever clients, that creates an actual connection with the prospect.
Do you know what's scary for me, mate, is I said to my wife, here I am now. I am working with second generation clients. The children of my original
That's really
clients,
cool. That's cool.
The concern is who's going to be my first, third generation.
Well, you said offline you're going to be going till you're 99. So you could be...
Right. I'll be third, fourth, and fifth.
Yeah, buddy. I mean, what a privilege Wow. What a privilege to be even in that position that you've put yourself in.
Yeah,
well done to even consider this. This is not something that everyone wakes up to do. You've worked hard to even be in a position that you can influence 3 generations of one family in order to...
It blows my mind when I have a dad go, Dave, I'm sending my son. I have history with a dad.
Yeah.
I've seen him go through his struggles and some of his challenges. And I feel like, when you think about this, the most valued thing you have in life is your wife and your children. And to have the most precious thing referred to you because they trust you. Wow. That's awesome, man.
Yeah. Lights you up. Lights me up.
Yeah, man. It is such a cool thing.
Wow. I mean, can we, I'm curious. Obviously, I've been in the NLP and psychology industry for 21 years. I love finding out about what makes people tick and what creates excellence and what doesn't. Just as importantly, you talk a lot about the mental edge, and you had a seminar called The Mental Edge. what does that mean to you? I can assume what it is, but you've been living and breathing it for a long time now. What does it actually mean to you?
Wow. That's a great question, man. Because I think what we have to appreciate to a certain point, how do we generalize that when it's so subjective to the individual? Because my experience or my goals, my vision is somewhat different to someone else's. I think what it is the individual's ability through that self-awareness and strategy to overcome limiting beliefs,
Okay.
to get to a point where they are congruent with their behavior in relation to the vision they've identified.
Okay. Say that again.
No, to try and repeat it and just cut and paste and repeat it because
I mean, essentially, someone has a vision of who or what they want to be or something they want to accomplish in the future. Their values are aligned in order to achieve that, and they
take it's that ability. Look, the bottom line is we behave our way to success. We don't intend it. We don't just write goals. The whole purpose of goals is to highlight and intensify.
It's to give a focus, right?
Right? But ultimately, what is the fucking bottom line? Is my behavior congruent with that I want to become? Heraclitus said something so beautiful, and he said, you can never step in the same river twice. Because it's forever flowing.
Yes.
We are forever evolving.
Yes.
Our identity is constantly changing, ideally for the better.
Well, I think we're always moving forward.
Yeah.
Just at different speeds.
Yeah.
And
relative to what though? I mean, I think sometimes in that case, it's sort of, it's not so much about the speed as it is about the direction. Some people are going to be a little slower. Others are going to be faster. I mean, if I was working with you, you'd be like a bloody sponge, mate. You'd take this shit on, you'd apply it, and you'd be flying very quickly. Others, it could be, because again, it's from the perspective of the individual. I mean, people will make judgments based on a period of time. You are not the same person that you were 5 years ago, 10 years.
Even yesterday.
And you're not the same person that you will be in 5 years. You'll be wiser, older, possibly a little grayer, right? But I think sometimes as human beings, what we tend to have an unconscious bias, and we tend to take a snapshot of the moment, and everything is judged on that. And again, you don't know the fucking story. It's interesting. Here's a prime example. So, I've done some podcasts. Now, as I finished the powerlifting, you can appreciate when you're pushing 300 plus kgs on the deadlift and fucking 180 on the bench. I was trying hard.
Yeah.
And with high intensity. Now, when I finished, the training still continued, but not to the intensity that it was. But my diet, for instance, still maintained it. So I ballooned up, mate. I got up to 160 kgs because So I currently right now have lost, I'm getting close to 140. But I did a podcast and there was a statement from a lady going, how could someone who's obese talk about positivity and blah, 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 or something like that.
Right.
And I'm thinking, she is justified in that to a certain point. But it really inspired me to go, you're judging that on a moment in time.
Mm.
Now, I get it, because you know this. In order to cope with life, we have to make decisions. We delete, we distort, and we generalize.
Mm.
And I think sometimes human beings need to acknowledge the first initial response, but then to have some sort of introspection and seeking a level of respect and understanding.
Yeah.
I think we're very quick to judge. And I think the other thing is we need to be, there was something that Stephen Covey said, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And that is, first seek to understand, then to be understood. I like that. I like that. I like, now, for me, if you know what I mean, if you understand me, and I use this purely as a representation, but you know me, because I don't give a fuck what other people think. But I've built that over a period of time, because
Did you used to care?
Oh, mate, I was so sensitive to what I was, as a young lad, I was influenced by others. I just wanted to be accepted into the group.
And this is what I was talking about, anti-fragile. So at the beginning, there was a tipping point, right? There was a point where, was it a threshold? Was it one morning you woke up? Was it just all of a sudden someone said something and it was just like it was water off a duck's back? Or
I think it was certainly identifying through self-awareness. It's recognizing that feeling. But I think it was definitely a continuation of many things to develop. I wouldn't say it was a
there wasn't a shooting star didn't go across the sky and you went.
No, I think, well, if I was to identify a specific moment, I distinctly remember that at Wesley College we had lunchtime. If you got parcels, it was up on the table. You had to go up and get your parcel. Now,
what's a parcel?
Biscuits or stuff that you get from your mum and dad. My uncle used to send me farm-baked cookies.
Right. Oh, so is Wesley a boarding school, is it?
Yeah, I was a boarding school. I left school. I left school at 13 and never went home, mate.
Right.
So I went home for a little bit, for about 3 or 4 weeks.
Where was home? I'm curious because I knew you were in Tauranga, right?
No. It was at that stage. It was up in Hunua, in the back of Papakura, which is South Auckland.
And where's Wesley College? I thought that was
Pukekohe.
So even though you were a half an hour drive away, you would.
No.
How far away was?
I boarded full time.
And how far away was home from Wesley?
Probably a good hour's drive. But I only went home on holidays.
Not even on the weekends, and you're only an hour away.
No, not really.
Right. Okay.
There's a part of that was bullying. Look, I don't want to go too deep into that because it's fucking. But what I would say is, I still remember that every time I get triggered when the parcel arrived, because I knew what that meant. I didn't get to eat those biscuits, mate.
Right. You were
beaten up, and they were taken off me. So as much as I wanted the biscuits, as much as I appreciate my Uncle John sending biscuits, I knew what
it had a negative anchor to you.
Negative association.
Like you're a big guy. Did you?
I'm not. Not when I was 13.
All right.
Shit. So here's the thing. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Anti-fragile. Yes. This is the. I now see anti-fragile everywhere.
Again,
yes.
I don't know if I really don't like the term anti-fragile. Fuck that. But we can we can argue about semantics, but in language. But anyway, so I remember I made a decision that I was sick and tired of being scared. Now, the guy that normally took those biscuits would wait till I came down to the dorm. Then he'd take me into his flat and give me a hiding. So I remember I had enough. Now, what stimulated that, I don't, but I knew that I had to make some fucking decision. And I knew that I was going to pay a price for it.
At 13, you're still 13?
I'm 13.
Yeah.
So this guy goes in there, gives me a fucking punch in the face, grabs my biscuits. And I grab them back and he goes, "Hey, what the fuck are you doing?" I said, "No, mate, you're not having them, they're mine." So he grabbed them back. Now, I had already made a decision. I'm going to fucking smack this guy on the chin. I smacked him so fucking hard with everything I had. You got to appreciate 13, I was a skinny little plunk.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
I was lucky to be fucking 55 kgs.
Right.
I hit him with everything I had. It was like an inconvenient mosquito bite for him. And he gave me a hiding. It was like, fucking, I had to go to Matrons and stay the night in hospital, right? I'm black-eyed, I'm beaten. But he never touched me again. Now, I'll tell you something else, mate. We teach people how to treat us. And that, for me, that moment.
This is interesting. Yeah, this is good. This is good.
This moment you've got to appreciate where fear lies, there lies your task. Now, how I see this, imagine a pond and you drop a pebble on it. That's the significant, painful moment. And it resonates. You know how the circle goes out, right? And what it does is that through this, you start making decisions that ripple across the pond. And it has a huge influence. That ripple in the pond is like a ripple in time. It affects you in your future. And I think those little magical moments of decision have a ripple effect into your future. Now, how did I overcome the bullying? Well, the only way that made common sense to me, based on what I observed, was these guys, some of these Islander boys were 115 kg,
huge.
15 with fucking beards.
Yeah, right.
I was waiting for a pube, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I got in the gym. I started weight training at Wesley College. I remember working with a mate of mine, and that became an obsession. And that obsession was stimulated through pain.
Yeah.
Then the initial pain then became pleasure because I could see the change in my
You could see that. Yeah.
Then that historical wiring became extinct because it was replaced with a new set of beliefs and wanting to be the strongest motherfucker that I could be, right? So I went on this fucking journey, and I still to this day pride myself that I was the only one who voluntarily put himself on the drug testing program through the New Zealand strongman fucking years.
Right.
Because I was working on this, right? I wasn't being to jab my ass, and quite frankly, mate, I don't know what it cost back in those days, but I probably couldn't afford it anyway.
Yeah.
Because I was just to fucking put food on the fucking table.
Yeah, right.
But I knew mentally I would rather invest in a book. Do you know what I mean? And again, it goes back to understanding this. You are the most incredible project you'll ever get to work on.
Yeah, I say that a lot. You're the biggest investment you'll ever make. Ever.
So, mate, I overcome that. You know, and the other important thing is I didn't want to become a bully. I don't want to be one of those assholes, those egotistical people, you know. But, you know, I'm not saying I was perfect. You know, I did a little bit of work on the door. There was plenty of bit of banish, you know what I mean? But overall, I think I'm a good bugger. That led as I started journeying into coaching to overcome the second. So there were three in my transition. Number one was overcoming bullying. Second was public speaking. So I wanted to be a coach. Best way to do that, to hit the audience, is to speak. Fuck that if I'm going up on stage.
Right.
Let's go full swing to Jim Rohn. Their story is, I'm in Vegas. I'm invited to do a talk. There's a series of speakers. The start speaker that night is Jim Rohn.
Jim Rohn.
I'm like, I'm getting an opportunity. I just want to listen to Jim. Fuck about me talking. I just want to listen to Jim, right? I'm about to go on stage. What is my nervous system telling me? Fuck no. So I'm sweating through my shirt.
And Vegas is hot. I've been there many times. And
oh man, it's hot.
Outside, it's ridiculous.
I don't want to fucking go. It's the biggest audience I've ever spoken in front of. There's probably about 5,000 people in a Stardust Hotel, Las Vegas. I'd start making excuses. As we do when we want to avoid the pain. And the lame excuse that I could come up with at the time was, babe, I can't. I've sweated through my t-shirt. She pulls out another fucking shirt, says, put it on and get your ass out there.
Yeah, good.
I go out there. How did I go? Mate, I was okay. It wasn't my best performance, right? But I'm young. I'm learning the ropes. Now, that's my perception, right? Our senses deceive us. That night, here's something that's very important for people to appreciate. The biggest need of an individual is fundamentally to be affirmed and acknowledged. So here I am dining with my wife and my mate. And you can appreciate Stardust. The dining area is fucking...
It's huge. Yeah, those restaurants are massive, yeah.
All of a sudden, I feel a hand on my shoulder. I looked up, and it was Jim Rohn. And he said to me, I was very impressed with your presentation today, young man. You have a bright future in this industry. Fuck, when I hear him say that, because Jim's gone now, I get emotional. He stepped me out in that dining area.
Found you, yeah.
Deliver that. Yeah. Are you fucking serious?
How did it make you feel?
Oh, mate, I get emotional now. The biggest need of an individual is simply to be affirmed and acknowledged. Now, it's nice to get that external affirmation. It's fucking important and it's wonderful.
Yeah.
But we also have to take a moment and acknowledge self.
Yeah.
We need to self-affirm ourselves.
I think
Sometimes,
this is...
You know, we've got to be boring.
It's all good being humble, but you have to give yourself a pat on the back from time to time. You said something you said something that stuck with me because you said it, and you said it just off the cuff. We teach people how to treat us.
Yeah.
Can you unpack that a little bit?
Yeah. Well, I think it's so important. A couple of key things. I won't suffer fools. If you're a fuckwit, I'm not interested in hanging out with fuckwits. You behave in a stupid way, I'm going to call you out on it. Here's a prime example. So I'm at the gym and I'm talking with a guy after training, and a guy interjects in our conversation. Basically, I was talking about the importance of how we're social animals. We like to hang with people like us. Now, that can be very positive, but it can also be very destructive, right? So if you're hanging out with a bunch of myth-taking idiots...
So you're the average of the 5 people that you hang out with.
But what I am saying is we've got to be mindful that the groups we hang out with, they can be destructive, right? So if you hang out with myth-takers... Mate, you're hanging out with the wrong fucking group.
Yeah, so even if you're not taking it, you're
absolutely right. So we are social animals. We like to hang out with people most like us. Right? Interesting. You coaches with coaches, NLP people, politically, blah, blah,
Yes,
blah.
yeah,
You know what I mean? We're trying to land.
The drinkers always find the drinkers. The smokers always find the smokers.
Absolutely, mate. And so I'm talking about this, and this guy intervenes, and I use the example in that sense of the games, and he started challenging me. Anyway, at the end of it, I started challenging him on some of his belief systems. And let's face it, I'm very good at undermining your premises. Your premises better be robust if you're going to come to a conclusion, right?
Yeah.
And if they're a straw man argument, you're going to be blown out. So anyway, we had the argument, and then eventually I just said to him, "Are you a father?" He went, "Yeah." Are you, and I'm assuming, but just tell me, because I know you're of older age. Do you have any grandchildren? He said, "Yes, I have a granddaughter." And I said, "Would you prefer your granddaughter was brought up in a gang environment or a loving family environment? Yes or no?" And as much as he fucking knew what he had to say, and he was so resistant to it. And then he said, "Yeah, but," I said, "Mate, right there and then, the fact that you're going to argue the point," well, basically what I said to him was, "Fuck off and go and finish your fucking set." I know myself in such a way that part of my reason I got into this is I'm very quick to anger. I can lose the plot. Now, that's not ideal. That's not good leadership. But there are times, mate, where I think it's you have to be authoritative. I think there are times.
I mean, in NLP, we call it flexibility of behavior, right? And
yeah, well, the principle of requisite
variety, yeah.
And you have to adapt to the situation. And I'll tell you this now, I've had sessions where I have absolutely bollocked a client. I'll give you an example. I had a young lad that I was working with. He was just filling me in about his he told me about something that happened at school. And I said, what was it, mate? And he said, there was a guy getting beaten up. And I was filming it because my mates thought it was really cool.
And this kid's a client of yours? He comes in and sees you?
He came in to see me and he shared it with me. And I stopped him there. And I said, I can't remember the details, but basically I said, I have no respect for someone that films someone getting beaten up. What I would have respected is someone making some sort of attempt to break up the fight. But if you're going to work with me, and if that's the way you are, I'll tell you this now, you will never work with me again. And I never want to hear you talk or do that sort of behavior again. Do you understand? And he was like, because that is totally unacceptable. Don't you ever behave like that again.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Now, to that credit, that kid came back to the next session and has gone on to become a fine young man. But sometimes it's appropriate.
So is this about boundaries?
Well, I mean,
teaching people how to treat us. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if that was I don't know about you. I don't have much respect for people that get off in filming someone's pain.
No.
For entertainment reasons.
Yeah.
Because it makes them deem cool. What sort of fucking arsehole leverages off someone else's pain?
Oh, this is bullying nowadays. I mean, that's quintessential bullying. Yeah.
So, for me, I remember I was at the boxing. So I work with a lot of fighters. I love boxing. I love MMA. I love fighting.
Yeah.
And we're at an event now. Everyone's sort of drunk a little bit too much, and everyone's piling out, and there's this massive fight, and people are filming it. And again, I talk about being congruent, right? So I'm not a kid. Now, whether or not this happened, but everyone's tapping them on and filming it. Well, I lose the plot. I seriously, I lost the plot, and I walked in the middle of this melee, this fight, pulled them apart. And I remember saying to these guys, fuck me, do you guys respect those guys in there? Those fighters in there get paid fuck all to put their fucking bodies on the line. And we struggle to get people to come to these fights because of fuckwits like you.
Yep.
If you truly respect those guys, stop this fucking bullshit behavior now. Fuck off.
Right.
Oh, they all part ways.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck off. And now, if my wife were there, she would have ripped me. Don't you got it right. Well, I don't know. Sometimes, mate, you've got to step up.
So this is it. Is this so coming back to the mental edge, is this the mental edge stepping up in your life?
I think it's about being congruent with your values.
Presupposition is that someone would know what their values
I
are.
think we lost each other.
Can you hear me, buddy?
Oh, wait, we're back.
So the presupposition is that someone would know what their values are, and if they don't know what it is it a kinesthetic? How? I mean, I could talk about it myself,
I think what it is I think on your progression through life, put it to you this way, people that are deemed significant are prepared to put their lives on the line, so to speak. You know, I know how hard those fighters work, and believe me, they've got dreams.
For those who are listening, David has been the mental performance coach for many of the world's top fighters. Names you would know. Yeah,
absolutely. And I know that these guys will do a decade of suffering for no return, but they're purely passionate. And what upsets me is I know the sacrifices and what they do, and then when it comes to promoting it, people don't want to go because they're worried about the environment
that surrounds it.
Drunken fucking idiots. And so, a lot of these fighters would love to have their kids there to watch Dad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
the same with the footy. I mean, the sports games are exactly the same.
So drunken. So I had the same thing. I'm a New South Wales fan. I love my state of origin, mate. Yeah. I remember in Brisbane, Suncorp Stadium, and again, drunken fucking idiot. So there's a guy in front of me. There's a group of 4 guys in front of me. They're all getting pissed up. And this guy's getting rowdy, and he's starting to throw things. And I just tapped the guy on the shoulder and I said, "Hey, mate, I'm telling you now, you better watch your behavior, eh? Watch it." And I talked to his mates and said, "Keep an eye on him, mate, because he's getting fucking pissed." So the night goes on, and then he decides to throw a full can or a glass of rum. There was 2 of them, and he throws it, and it hits a kid further down. I basically picked this guy up with one hand, dragged him out, and the cops were there. And I said, "Get this fucking drunken idiot out of here." And then I went back and I said, you're truly his mates? You allow that? He's just fucking hit a kid. "Oh, yeah, he's just drunk, bro. It's all right. Just let it go, man." I fucking hate that shit.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. It's one of those things I don't respect, because what we measure, we can't understand what's going on.
It's like you don't respect disrespectful behavior.
I just, mate, I believe in laws and they need to be followed. I will challenge some of the rules, but yeah, mate, if you're disrespectful to others, if you abuse others, and that's not to say that I'm not perfect, but fundamentally I know this.
Yeah.
I think if you are into friends, family, colleagues, and clients, I would constantly get the feedback is a good bugger. I really care. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I said, I'm not.
Well, I think look, mate, you've been in the coaching field now for 30 years. You've worked with some high rolling people. You've worked with people who are barely making it by. In order to give 100% to everyone, I think there has to be a needle within you, a compass within you that has to be set pretty well.
Yeah, and I'm passionate.
I can see it come out. It's great. And I think the world needs more passionate people about what they believe in. Not extremist. Passion is different from
absolutely. Yeah, do you know what I mean? I totally agree.
Yeah, actually, where is that line between passionate and extremist? Anyway, that's probably another podcast after 12.
Itself are very passionate, but let's just say the beliefs are somewhat misguided.
Yeah. So, David, in terms of your time, I can't thank you enough for carving out this time in your morning, on your Friday morning. You just shared with me offline that you've now built your business up for you to have Friday, Saturday, Sunday to yourself and your family. So, taking a couple hours on your day off as such, on the time that you're probably pruning the garden or planting a citrus tree.
Wait for the internet to come back.
Oh, the internet's gone, is it?
I've always coached, mate. It's just we're at a point now where I've done very well in the coaching industry, and not that I'll ever exit, but let's just say I'm slowly moving and designing my life to a different place.
Yeah, and you deserve it, and you it's the time in your life to focus on yourself, maybe a little bit more than what you had been. And look, we're going to be supporting you every step of the way. So how can someone get in contact with you? I mean, if someone is listening to this and they're like, I need to kick up the butt in order to, I know it, I know I give myself excuses. I need to kick up the butt in order to achieve what I want to achieve in this opportunity that I have called life.
Yeah.
How does someone get in contact with you?
Remember I think you asked me this question last time, and I will be congruent with the way I respond. That is, if you truly want to know me, see me, work with me, you got my name, you'll investigate and find it.
Brilliant. Right, and the book, what if someone wants to buy the book?
Well, I would say in Australia, go into Dimmicks, I think it is. Ask someone there to order it in for you. They will go out of their way to do it. I think it's also online with Amazon. You can order it off Amazon. But yeah, again, most of the bookstores in Australia and New Zealand will be restocking relatively soon, I hope.
Soon. Okay, cool.
So, hey, by asking only accelerates that process.
The demand, yeah, absolutely.
And I'd certainly appreciate those that do ask.
We appreciate you on behalf of myself and Callum. Unfortunately, he couldn't be here today. So we will have you back. Podcast number 3. And I just want to thank you again.
And maybe what we can finish with is this, mate. Anyone that's listening that has come in some subjects that we've covered, if they were to email you with those questions, we could maybe get a little more specific and create an agenda through your customers and your viewers.
Absolutely. So if there's anything that has struck a chord with you today and you would like us to unpack it more, email Conor at connectcoaching.com.au. We will have David back and we can go through them.
Yeah, we can go deeper, right?
Absolutely.
Hey, always good seeing you, bro.
Likewise, mate. And
Be good, man.
yeah, buddy, I'll be seeing you again in New Zealand. I'll be over this year. Later this year, I'm sure
Okay.
I'll be over, and I'll be catching up with you in Auckland.
Yeah, we'll have breakfast of champions, mate.
Oh, mate, yeah, breakfast of champions. That's right.
Breakfast of champions, buddy. Boom, bring it on.
Appreciate it, buddy. Stay on for a sec. I'm just going to take the Facebook Live off. All right. Podcast number 53, finishing up. Thank you very much for watching the Unplugged Podcast with Callum and Conor from Connect Coaching. Hope you loved this guest this week as much as we did. Cal?
What we wanted to remind you of is that if you wanted to steal our forever business model, which is perfect for all sorts of businesses around the world to start to build extra revenue in your business right away, get instant access by clicking on the description and going into the link below, watching the 9-minute video where we unpack everything. See you next up.